Sunderland at the weekend, so let's talk about it, starting with the 45-pass move. Davis, 45, right?
That's correct, mate.
Yes, the 45-pass move that led to Juan Mata's goal against Southampton. Adam, is that the best example we've seen of Louis van Gaal's philosophy being played by Manchester United?
I think so, yeah. I think he wants to be able to keep possession whilst obviously probing. That was the best thing about that move. We were trying to make inroads into the defence and get in behind them. And far too much times it's been sideways, 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 back to the defence, forward a bit, back to the goalie. And that's too negative for me, but that was actually positive. We were trying to make movements up front. So I enjoyed that, and I think that is his philosophy, to keep the ball, pull the opposition out of position so you can create holes, create spaces, and then you can break into those spaces. So I think that is, yeah.
All right, so before we get some facts from Dave Howson, your opinion for what it's worth, did you like it and did you think it worked? But also, following that goal, there was 20 minutes of passing that didn't sort of produce anything.
It was a little bit side to side, but I would rather have the ball than not have the ball. Mm-hmm. This possession-based game is all about frustrating the opposition, forcing them to make a mistake, and then capitalising. It worked perfectly at a team like Barcelona because you've got this kid called Messi, who I don't know if anyone's seen him, but he's a little bit good. So he can thrive in those sort of areas where you have got no space and you need to start taking chances. He's going to be one that can put those away. Similar at Bayern Munich, they've got this similar sort of style under Pep, and they've also got Robben, Lewandowski, and all sorts of others that can take those chances. What we've not got yet, although the last couple of games we've started to see it and we've started to show it, is a little bit of quality in the final third. We can keep the ball as good as Barcelona and as good as Bayern Munich, which is our number one method of defending. We've just not been able to create. And I think there was a stat I saw earlier that we're like 14th rank in the Premier League for shots on goal. If we change that one stat, we're able to get into the final third, create more chances, create more shots, we'll get more goals, and we'll become very, very, very hard to beat.
Okay, Dave, do you agree with all of that? Where do you stand on all this?
I'd say so, yeah. Howson's completely right. We're ranked 13th, in fact. Sorry, Howson. A few more shots have gone down, but I think that it was a brilliant team goal. 45 passes, obviously fantastic. Bastian Schweinsteiger was so key to that move. He was absolutely everywhere in that move. He was at defensive midfield, at central midfield, and attacking midfield. He played 6 passes out of the 45 in the move, and he was just instrumental. If Memphis had put it away after that lovely, lovely cut back inside, that would have been one of the best team goals we've seen in a long time. But I think the width is what's making our possession now a little bit more effective. I think that's down to Valencia playing in the second half and really keeping that width on that right-hand side. We've seen Darmian that's sort of sitting at a full-back position where we need our sort of right full-back player to be more of a wing-back in a way, because Juan Mata's coming inside. We need someone to stretch it. We also saw Martial's movement to the right-hand side against Southampton, which was quite nice, obviously keeping the width high up the pitch. But I think that's it. It's Bastian Schweinsteiger retaining that width, and then our sort of forward starting to hit a little bit of form. Memphis Depay will start scoring, and then Juan Mata obviously has just been brilliant, and then Martial, there's a lot we can say about him.
Yes, there is. All right, so we talked about a lot of players there, Schweinsteiger, Martial, Mata, Depay. One that we didn't mention was Wayne Rooney. Physically wears the number 10, spent the first part of this season playing as a number 9, and then against Southampton we saw him back in number 10. The debate will go on long after his career finishes, but Adam, his best position, where should he be playing? And in fact, should he be playing if he's not going to be the number 9? Have we got better number 10s?
I think it's these captain's privileges that he has made it very difficult because he's the captain, he's always going to be in the team. And because of that, I think it is a little bit unfair. And I do think if he wasn't guaranteed a spot in the team, and just say, for example, against Sunderland, we dropped him or rested him and we put Herrera in the number 10, for example, that might give him the kick up the arse that he needs. He might come on off the bench and score a goal or something. But I find that, I asked Howson as well at Southampton, that are we seeing a Wayne Rooney that is A, finished, or B, is he being told to play this reserved kind of position, just sit there and try and dictate the game? Because we do miss him when he doesn't play, but then when he does play, he's not looking like he's bothered whether he scores or not. And that's what we need from our number 9 or number 10. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one with Wazza.
Okay, Howson, weigh in, because you were saying at the weekend at St Mary's that perhaps he shouldn't be in the starting lineup.
I think you could make an entire series of videos on Wayne Rooney and his best position, and is he a legend at the club, and should he be breaking the record, and this, that, and the other. There's so many parts to the Wayne Rooney dilemma that we've got that I don't think I can give a proper answer in this here, when we've got like 10 minutes to complete what we need to do.
If you want to see Howson's Wayne Rooney series, please get in the comments below. Let us know, because apparently the guy's got a lot to say.
But I think he does have special privileges that other players don't get, because Wayne Rooney will be played through his poor form or ordinary form, whereas we saw Herrera come in at number 10 and then he's straight back out the team. We saw Mata come in at number 10, then he's straight back out onto the wing. Wayne Rooney gets that extra little bit of a chance, and I think he's probably, at this present moment in time, around about the same level as Mata and Herrera. So I think any of those playing in the number 10 would be fine for me. We've just got an abundance of players that can play there, like we've got in the 6 and the 8 position at the moment as well. So this is the strongest core we've had at Manchester United for a while. I'm not going to moan about it. I'm just going to say whatever the manager picks, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Okay, lovely. Dave, some stats. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I think Rooney's such an interesting player. We're never going to know what his best position was because he's been moved around so much. It's really interesting. I think he's always been at Man United. He's been sort of the second or third best player when we've really had a decent team. And I was watching today. I was watching the 2007-2008 Man United best goals. Wayne Rooney was the glue that stuck all that together. He was drifting wide left to open up space in the middle. He was coming deep, letting players go past him. But for me, this season, he's just not been good enough. You know, we go to his stats. He's got 0 goals, 0 assists. But the thing that's worrying me, he's only had 8 shots on goal and only created 6 chances in those 5 games. So I think he's got to be dropped just for a little bit, maybe. You know, get someone else coming in the team. Let him come off the bench a little bit. Let him try and turn a game round from the bench. Get a bit of confidence back, and then we can reintroduce him. But I do think we've got this captain problem that has existed from Van Gaal choosing Rooney to be his captain.
So it sounds like we're stuck. Right, let's talk about the teams. We just discussed Wayne Rooney. Would he be in your team, Howson, to face Sunderland?
Do you want me to give my full 11?
Yeah.
Righty then. I'll go for De Gea net. I'll go for Darmian and Smalling and Blind at centre-half. And I think through a complete lack of options, we've got to go with Ashley Young as a left-back choice. Midfield 2, I'm going to see Schweinsteiger brought in, and I want to see him played alongside Carrick. And then we'll have Schneiderlin on the bench for one of them come 60-minute mark, which I think is a brilliant way to use that midfield. And then I'm going to go for Memphis and Mata as my wings. I'm going to put Herrera in, and I'm going to see Martial up front.
Okay, like that. Dave, what are you doing?
I'm going to completely change it. I'm going to go back to the 4-3-3. One of the midfielders sitting. I think Rooney needs to be dropped, like I mentioned before. De Gea in goal, obviously, 3 brilliant saves against Southampton. Can we put that as the first 3 points he's earned Man United this season? Probably. My back 4 is going to be completely different. I think we've got to have Valencia at right back. I think he offers us so much more going forward than Darmian has. Darmian's created a chance every 2 games in the Premier League. Valencia's going to give us a lot more going forward. And in terms of ball retention, it's better to have that. I think 41% of our attacks have come down the left-hand side this season. We need to even that up so we don't become predictable. But Darmian's not going to get dropped. For me, Darmian should go to left back. Darmian played left back for Torino last season, or left wing back for Torino last season, more than he played on the right. So he can perfectly sit in there. I think I don't really want to break up this Smalling-Blind partnership. It's starting to get a little bit of momentum. You know, the ball player with Smalling being the aggressor. But I think Darmian definitely can come in at left back. And in terms of forward passes in the Premier League, Daley Blind is ranked number 1 for defenders, so he's got to be in there to be that ball player from the back, which will help Darmian out as well. Darmian's been, criticised for his passing accuracy this season, and his sort of possession-based stats. So get Blind next to him, and he'll be okay there. I want to have Schneiderlin at defensive midfield. I think he's been absolutely awesome playing that combative role for Manchester United, winning tackles and whatever. Then I'm going to have Herrera as right central midfield, and then Bastian Schweinsteiger, the conductor, on the left-hand side. Then the front 3, unchanged, Juan Mata, Martial, and Memphis Depay. Martial this season has been brilliant. The top scoring under 21-year-old in Europe's top 5 leagues in 2015.
Tony!
4 shots, 3 goals. He scored a goal every 39 minutes in the Premier League. That's a better record than any player that scored over 1 goal this season. And that is it.
Unbelievable stats. Adam, what do you think of those teams? Very different.
I'd like to. I would prefer Darmian at left back than Ashley Young. And I'd like to see, I don't know whether it will happen, but Ander Herrera in Juan Mata's position on the right of the 3-1 behind the striker with Mata in the middle. I do think Herrera could play there, to be honest. I don't think Mata's a natural winger. Like Herrera's not a natural winger either, I know that. But he could occupy that position, drift inside, and use his pace to stretch defenders as well. So I think we should try Matt in that position. And against Sunderland, like, I am expecting them to like turn into Barcelona or something. But like against Sunderland, we should be able to try that out.
Okay, I like it. We're talking about Sunderland. Let's talk about them. Howson, got your spreadsheets out? Who's going to do any damage?
The only damage that we're going to do is to ourselves. The only decent player that they've got is Jan Villa. And apart from him, it's a very, very, very ordinary squad. And they've got every capability of coming here and making this a 0-0, unfortunately, because of the way our possession is and because of the way they all line up, to not concede and not even try to score. The only time that we really been able to get behind teams is when they've had to come and attack us. So Sunderland will notice they're not going to come and attack us, and I think we're going to struggle to break them down. But if we get 1, we could get 6.
Ooh, 6. Dave?
Well, Man United's most dangerous Sunderland player, Yunus Kambul, is unfortunately suspended. He had an absolute nightmare against Bournemouth. He had a shocker for the first goal, got completely done by Callum Wilson, and then got sent off in the second half. But the man that I think is going to potentially cause us a little bit of problem is Lenz, left winger, tricky, came from Dynamo Kiev, scored 1 goal in the Premier League and got 2 assists this season. So he's someone we should watch out for in terms of exposing us on that counter-attack in that right-back zone. But apart from that, like the lads were saying, there's not a lot there. They're going to come to United and sit deep and just try and soak up the possession. Like Alson said, if we score 1, we could score 10.
Adam, sounds like they're absolutely rubbish. Feeling confident?
I'm not feeling confident because Sunderland, I know what these kind of games are like with Man United over the last year or two. That look at Newcastle, they've been crap all season. They come and set up shop and got a point out of it. So I'm not relaxed. I'm always more relaxed than the Louis van Gaal going into the bigger games. I don't know why. But Jeremy Lenz and Jan Villa. Jan Villa could have done a job for someone like Man United or Arsenal or someone. And I think it's only because he's reportedly got a bad attitude that he hasn't ever kicked on and got onto a better club. So if he gets a free kick in and around the box, he'll be a threat. Jeremy Lenz.
If he gets a free kick in a box, I mean, that's a penalty.
In and around, I said. Yeah, that's a penalty.
That is a penalty.
Yeah.
That's definitely a danger.
All right, Sam. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. What do you think the score will be?
That is possible, by the way, to get a free kick inside the box.
It is. I understand. I'm a qualified referee. Go on. Score prediction.
3-0 United.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 again. I think it's going to be the first time under Louis van Gaal that United will win 3 games on the bounce with 3 goals or more.
Oh, nice. Howson?
I'm going to go a little bit giddier. I'm going to say 5-0 United.
Right, I'll fill in the gap and go 4-0.
It's going to be 0-0 though, isn't it? Let's face it.
All right, that's it. Guys, thanks for joining us on Skype. Everybody watching, let us know what you think the score will be. Let us know what you think of Wayne Rooney, of Louis van Gaal's philosophy and all the passes we've been making. Just of all the stuff we spoke about, really. Have a little chat with it, and occasionally we'll stir the pot. That'll be fun. See you later.